If everything needs a cause, what caused the universe? And if you say God, then what caused God? This is the first cause paradox, a question so old, yet so sharp, it cuts through science, philosophy, and faith alike. Imagine you see a row of dominoes falling. You trace back, domino 50 knocked domino 49, which knocked domino 48, and so on. Which domino fell first? In life, we think of everything like this, cause and effect. Newton's laws tell us motion comes from forces, and forces come from interactions. Aristotle called this the unmoved mover problem. If motion exists, something must have started it. But when we trace this chain back to the birth of the universe, something very strange happens. The observable universe began approximately 13.8 billion years ago, in what we call the Big Bang. What caused the Big Bang? Time itself began at the Big Bang. Before it, there was no before. You can't ask what's north of the North Pole, in a literal sense. In quantum cosmology, the early universe is described not as a point in space exploding, but as space-time itself emerging from a quantum state. Stephen Hawking's no-boundary proposal. Time might be like a sphere, finite, but without an edge. No edge means no first moment. In quantum physics, some particles can borrow energy from nothing, briefly, before it disappears. Quantum fields constantly fluctuate, even in a vacuum. Virtual particles pop in and out of existence without a cause, in the classical sense. Imagine a calm ocean surface. To the naked eye it looks flat, but on the quantum scale, it's bubbling with activity. Could the universe itself have popped into existence as a quantum fluctuation? But here's the kicker. Even if it did, what laws allowed it? Where did those laws come from? An old myth says the Earth rests on a giant turtle, which rests on another turtle forever. Philosophers call this infinite regression. If every cause needs a cause, you never get to an actual starting point. You can't start a movie if you're stuck watching an infinite number of trailers before it. Science needs an initial condition. Philosophy needs a first principle. Theology needs a prime mover. But each answer gets hit with, and what caused that? God is the uncaused cause, eternal and outside time. Like an author existing outside the timeline of their novel, Shakespeare isn't bound by Hamlet's clock. If God created time, he exists in a state with no before and after. That's hard for the human brain to imagine because our thinking is trapped inside time. If God is eternal and needs no cause, why not just say the universe itself is eternal and needs no cause? This is where scientific atheism and theism split sharply. Quantum mechanics says causality isn't absolute. At the smallest scales, events happen without deterministic causes. Radioactive decay. You can predict when half of a sample will decay, but not exactly which atom will decay when. It's probabilistic. Maybe the universe's origin was like that, an uncaused event within the rules of quantum probability. This fits the idea that asking what happened before time is meaningless, because time itself is part of the event. What if our universe was created by another intelligence, like a programmer running code? In a video game, the world exists only after you hit start. The player exists outside the game's time. But, if we were simulated, who created the simulator? And who created them? Infinite regression again. Maybe countless universes exist, each spawning others. But, still, what started the first? The first cause might be a timeless reality beyond physics, beyond logic as we know it. Or the concept of cause might simply not apply to the ultimate origin. Our brains evolved to survive in a cause and effect world. So asking what caused the universe might be like a fish asking what's beyond water. Maybe the greatest truth is that there was no first cause, only an eternal, self-existing reality. Perhaps the first cause is the last thing we'll ever understand. And maybe it's not about what began the universe, but why there's anything instead of nothing at all. This is Beyond Newton.